Three of the channels in your life.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome everybody to Lady Outlaws series talk on Sundays.
No.
Um Today we're going to be discussing tips and tricks on how to raise your children. Now, you're probably thinking, why the hell do I need that?
What's that?
And part of the reason that we need tips and tricks is because of the simple fact that as the modern age grows up, there are a lot of people that do not want to spank their children. Fine, dandy, that's all on you. But how do you get your child to listen? How do you get your child to understand? And how do you get your child to really hone in on the simple basis that not everything is a walk in park?
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
Especially if you have neurodivergent children
Yeah.
or picky children or children that have an texture disorder, because I'm one of those children. If it's a texture, ugh.
Shoving me into the wall.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did.
It's, my daughter
Hello.
knows my life story. I'm not gonna. Right, you were a very picky child when you were a uh, a little kid, and so was your brother. By the way, Mama, Chantal is my daughter. She's in the chat. Um,
Hi, Sini.
my daughter says was still she cooked the lamb for the household, and the smell made her want to just vomit all over.
She was pregnant.
No, she's not pregnant.
Oh,
She just don't like the smell of lamb.
why is she cooking it then?
Because she gets paid $30 a week to cook
Oh,
three
holy
meals.
shit.
She gets paid
Oh.
$10 a week meal. They pay
Oh,
her to
wow.
cook because neither one. They have so many different. You can't have pork. You can't have this. You can't have that. You can't have this. And my daughter has so many fucking allergies that she can't be around this. She can't do this. She makes homemade bread. She makes homemade hamburger buns. Um,
Wow.
she makes all of her homemade cream of mushroom soups and all of that. So,
Hello, Sneaky.
Hey,
what are
Sneaky.
you
Was that?
for? Dishes over there. They say hello, Sneaky.
Yeah.
He's growling at
Now,
Chopper.
when our kids were little, they tried to have us do a reward chart.
Hey, we can see your butt crack.
When the kids were little, they had us try to do a
Good
reward chart,
boy.
and that didn't work out too well. But
A
you gotta find what works for your child. You know.
right, and a chore chart definitely does not work for my children. They are too much of a pain in the ass for that. Hey, I
What I
told
want to
you to
know is
quit.
like how
Well,
how
free grass,
mom.
or grass is free by a farm. Something
Tell
like
mom
that.
that I have seen her pick up Facebook. Have you? That's awesome. Um, no, like with my children, the easiest way to get picky children, um, picky children to eat was literally I'd eat it. If I ate it, they must have.
Yep. Yep.
So if you ever want your child to explore new foods,
Right.
right, that's the ODD, optional defiancy disorder. If you tell me to do something, I'm gonna not gonna do it.
Yep.
So the easiest way to get you to do something was, I want you to do the dishes. Tell you you can't do the dishes. Go do the dishes myself. Start doing the dishes myself and say you can't help. You would take over and be like, "No, I'm doing the dishes."
Whoa, I never tried that one.
It's called the reverse psychology. Tell them they can't do something and they're going to do something. Tell them they can't
Oh
do
no, they
something.
mine would have been happy about not doing it.
True.
How did you handle it when they didn't want to do things, Mom? I know, like when it come to cleaning the room, if they wouldn't do it, Mom would go in there and she'd pack everything up and put it outside or whatever.
Their room would be empty when they got home, and then they'd ask why. And I said, "You were told to clean it. You didn't do it, so I cleaned it. You don't want me to clean it. You don't want me
Right.
to do something I told you to do because there ain't going to be nothing left of it."
Everything goes in the garbage at that point in time. My daughter says the easiest way for her to get her to do something is make her a to-do list and then leave it around the house and just leave it at that. Lunatic tracker, hi. Which, I mean, that works too. Like, there are kids out there that they'll get up and they'll be like my son. He just came in, grabbed the dishes to do dishes. Now, if I were to tell him to do the dishes, he'd throw a hissy fit because he'd be like, I don't want to do the dishes.
Well, now all I gotta do is say, I'm gonna get the grandmama after you, and
That's not nice to threaten him with grandmama.
Oh no, I tell him I'm gonna go get Sandy. She's got a racetrack somewhere.
Akira, stop it.
But
Oh my god, sorry.
no, like, I know that there's a lot of people that like their kids are really picky, but then you sit there and you see them eyeing your food, and there's been a couple of videos made of it where like you make yourself a bowl and then you leave and you tell them, now don't eat it. This, can you hold it for me, but don't eat it. And you make sure that there's two forks because germs, I guess. But when you leave, they're gonna devour it.
That's
Yeah.
kids.
It
Yep.
is, and a lot of parents don't realize that just because your kid only wants McDonald's 7 days a week, all right, go enjoy some time with your man. I know you missed him. My daughter's man's in the army.
Ah, yeah, go while he's home. Yep.
Yep.
Or
Um,
no, he's not in the army. What is he in? Marines? SEALs?
All
Navy?
the same thing, honey.
He's in the
Pretty much.
military.
Yep.
he's in one of them.
Well, there's National Guard. That's what he said, I think.
Ah,
Yeah, National
yeah.
Guard.
And a lot
Ah,
of times, National Guards is called to active duty quicker than the others are.
Yeah,
yeah.
especially when it comes to anything dealing with the sea. Um,
Yep.
Yeah.
but yeah, a lot of people literally don't understand that children are easy to work around.
Yeah, they are.
To a point.
To a
Gage,
point.
Gage was very, very difficult, Mom. Remember? Mashed potatoes only from the mashed potato store.
But that was his dad's fault.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
His favorite restaurant is the Texas Roadhouse.
Yep.
And the macaroni and cheese is $10 there.
Nope.
Wow. Damn.
I would look at my kid and be like, I would go get a container, just a container, save it, make the mac and cheese, throw it in there, and be like, it's from the same place.
That don't work with him. He's got to see you go to the store to buy it and bring it home.
Yep. He's
Kid would be
picky. He's very.
starving in my household.
I love my grandson, but I have made meals and I've told him either you eat it or you go without. You eat what's put in front of you or go without.
I
So
don't have
okay,
that.
I'll go without, and he will go without, and then he'll call his dad at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to stop and pick him up something. And when he does that, I meet his dad at the door, and I said, "What are you doing here so early?" Gage called and said you refused to feed him. And I said, "Gage, what did I tell you? I have to eat what's put in front of me, or I go without till the next meal is ready." And Brian would look at him and say, "Is that what your grandmother told you?" "Yes, Dad." "Okay, you're not getting this." And Brian will walk over and throw it in the trash.
Well, that's just a waste of food. I'd sit there and eat it in front of them. Like, okay, you made me get up at 3 a.m. to get food. Guess what? I'm eating this food because I'm hungry now.
Well, Brian don't like the same things Gage likes.
True.
But Gage is very spoiled.
Right. And that's on
Yeah.
the parent.
He was
Yeah.
2 years old, had a mini bike for his birthday.
Yep.
For
But
Christmas, a couple years, 2, 3 years later, he got a razor for his birthday
my
that
daughter
Brian could set the speed on.
my
Yep.
daughter had to wait until she was at least 8 to get a mini bike.
He went ahead and had to get all kinds of different things. He's got, I don't know how many iPads. He's got a laptop.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, we can't really say anything about the mini bike because they got the kids one too, but I don't know how old they were.
Yes.
well,
I know they were young, but not. I don't know. And they had
well,
snowmobiles too. So
my kids grew up on motorcycles.
right. Yeah.
Their dad was a motorcycle enthusiast. When
Yeah.
Denny was 8 years old, he was riding a 350 Honda. Couldn't touch the ground. He couldn't stop the damn thing. Someone had to catch him when he wanted to stop. But he rode it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember when we were there for Thanksgiving and I was trying to get Gage to eat mashed potatoes like, "Oh, you don't know what you're missing." He's like, "Nope, they're not from the mashed potato store. I'm not eating them."
Yep.
I was like, "Okay, I tried, Ma. Sorry."
But, and if they do something wrong, you got to make the punishment fit the crime,
Right.
not the
Yeah.
crime to fit the punishment.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Which a
know
lot of people
Austin.
don't understand.
I know Austin didn't like hot dogs. The kids weren't very picky, but the one thing that Austin hated was hot dogs.
He ate them at Grandma's
Yeah. Well,
when they were cooked on the grill and not black.
right. He didn't like the microwave hot dogs.
Who
Well, I
likes
don't see how
microwave hot
anybody
dogs?
could.
Yeah.
they're okay.
I'd rather them boiled or on the skillet.
If it's on
Yeah.
God, just put them in bowl
But
of water and cook them.
This is not for the pee party.
What?
Yeah, what?
It's not for children.
Mm.
I love you.
that leaves you out, sweetheart.
Right.
But like, nowadays kids are raised by iPads or TV or you know the parents don't really want to be hands on with their kids.
Smile.
And that's
Like
a big issue. Is
right.
how parents don't want to be a parent.
Yep.
They want the kid,
Or
but they don't want the kid, so to speak.
what video was I watching the other day? Oh, it was a video that this girl had done, and she's like, I was sitting in a plane, and I paid extra money for a certain seat or whatever, and I was sitting by a toddler, and the mother was behind me, and she's like, "Excuse me, miss, do you mind if I sit in that seat so I can sit by my daughter, so I can take care of her during this flight?" And she goes, "Oh no, ma'am." She goes, "I paid money for this seat." She goes, "Why didn't you book your seats together with your daughter?" She goes, "Well, it was too expensive to do it that way." And she goes, "Well, I'm not switching seats with you." And she goes, "Well, then you're gonna have to deal with her when she's crying and everything else." And the lady's like, "Look, she's not my child. And if you were that concerned, you should have booked it side by side
Yep.
and not in two different areas." So the parent people expect other people to parent their children when they're, like if they're doing like work on a tablet or whatever for work or something like that. They want other people to take care of their children. It's like just like when we were living up north. Okay, I was getting the kids ready for school, and there was a knock on the door, so I answered it, and they're like, "We're here to catch the bus." And I'm like, "Oh honey, it's too early." I said, "It's not even time." I said, "The bus don't come till like 20 after 7." And it was like 6:30, and I'm like, "Where's your mom?" And he said like, "Oh, she went back to bed." I said, "Oh no, no, no." I said, "You'll go down and you'll knock on the door, wake up your mom, and tell her I'm not gonna babysit you guys because I have to worry about getting my kids ready for school." So they left. They wouldn't even come down to the bus stop, early. They would just like they would wait until they seen the bus come around the corner, then they would run down to the house. I was like, "I'm not watching your child. It's not my job, you know.
Wow.
Well, it's just like the little boy that lived beside us, Mom. You remember Renee's son, Nicholas?
Oh,
Um, his
yeah.
his mom wouldn't get up and make him breakfast. And that one day he came over and he's like, "Melissa, can I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?" He goes, "My mommy won't get up out of bed." And this kid was like, what, maybe 4 or 5
Yep.
or something. And I'm like, "Okay, honey, no problem." And I'm thinking, man, you need to take care of your child. You can't.
Not a lot
I'm,
of people think like that though. They just think, oh, well, somebody else will do it. And
well, and that kid, I'm not gonna let a kid starve.
right.
But I ain't gonna be your kid's babysitter because it was hard enough trying to get the kids to focus on getting up and getting dressed. You know that was hard.
I don't mind being a kid's babysitter, but at the same point in time, it's just like,
Wow.
Well, when I told those kids, I said, "You go down and tell your mommy, get up out of bed and tell her I'm not watching you because I want to go back to bed, but I got 2 kids to get ready for school. You know, I'm gonna go to bed too, but you know, you can
I
only
never
do what you
went to
can do."
bed after my
Well,
kids were up for school and went to school.
yeah. Well, she had a baby, and the baby is what kept her up, at night. And I'm like,
I
"Well, you know
had
what?
babies
Not my
too, but
problem."
I never I
Right.
never stayed up or went to bed after the kids got up and went to school.
Exactly.
I stayed up,
Exactly.
did the 10 or 15 minutes worth of housework, and then I sat down.
See,
Yeah.
I don't have that issue because Jordan gets up at 4 a.m. I make sure he like does all of his chores and shit. But then when he leaves for school, I'm going to bed because I'm up all night.
Yeah.
We take shifts in this household, okay? I'm up all
Yeah.
night. He's asleep all night because he'll be working uh, in the daytime, and then it's literally we take shifts, so we know Jordan's doing what he's supposed to because he is a kid.
And see, with parents that don't want to take care of their kids, that's where the privileged children come in.
Here we go. Hold on, I got another one. Here you go, children. Here's your phones and your tablets.
Yep. Yep. And then they become privileged. And I've seen kids in the store literally throw a temper tantrum, screaming and kicking right there on the floor because their mommy won't buy them a toy. You know,
Excuse
and
me.
I
I had
remember
a
one
kid.
time.
I
Go
had
ahead.
a kid that threw a fit on the store floor, and all I had to buy groceries with was change.
Was his
Oh,
name Abraxas?
No, it was
probably
Dennis.
not Denny.
And he went ahead and he got upset because mommy wouldn't buy him a toy. And I told him, let me finish my grocery shopping. And then if I've got enough money, we will get that toy. Okay, mommy. While he decided to throw a hissy fit right there on the floor, I walked around the corner. I heard the whole conversation and the whole thing. Two old women bought him the toy. And I handed it back to the cashier, and I told the cashier, I said, here, you give it to them, or you keep it and throw it in the trash. I told him he had to wait
Hmm.
Right.
and see if I had the money for it
There's
because
only
his father is laid off.
right, which it makes it really hard. There's only one time I've ever had to pull one of my children out of the store, and Jordan, he would run off, and he, he was Jordan, okay? I picked his ass up and carried him out of the store. Brought him to his dad. Said he don't want to listen in the store. He's sitting out here with you.
Yep. Do you remember when Austin was little and he grabbed that egg, Mom, that
Yep,
Cadbury
and he
egg?
ate half of it. I made him pay for it, and then I made the cashier throw it away in the trash can. He said, Grandma, I paid for that. I said, I don't care. You
You
don't
didn't pay.
ever do that again, young man.
You didn't pay for it before you started eating it.
Right.
I said, this ain't going to happen any longer. I said, I've had it. And he
And
had
that
never done
cashier
it
gave her a
before
weird
with
look.
me. But it was at Christmas time, or not
Yeah.
Christmas, Easter
Easter.
time.
Yep. Yep. And
And
that
she
cashier
felt
gave her a
really
weird look.
bad. The
That,
cashier did that. I made her throw it away. I said, he's not having it.
That's another thing that really affects the way people parent their children is all these people getting involved. You can't do
hmm.
that. That's child abuse. That's child
Right.
neglect. Look at
She
my
never,
child. Please tell me that bitch is fucking neglected. I'll stab you in your left fucking eye because apparently you don't use it.
well, she never said shit to me about it. All she said was, ma'am, are you sure? I said, I'm positive. I said, he did not ask for it. He did not pay for it until now. Throw it away or I will. She
Don't
threw it
mess
in the
with them.
trash and gave him the receipt.
Apparently, he learned a valuable lesson that day. Don't take shit unless you're gonna pay for it first.
That's
Yep.
right. Chris, he asked his dad if he could borrow X amount of money. And he said, I'll give you all the money back when we get home. I forgot my money at home. He found a toy he wanted. And it was five something tax and all. Chris gave him back a quarter of it. Well, that's all I borrowed, Dad, was a quarter. I didn't borrow it all. He kept the five. And we had went out to Big Boy to eat. He couldn't eat his meal, but because his food tube was full. We went by DQ and Daddy had to turn around because Daddy said it was cute. But my ice cream tube is empty, Dad. My food tube was full. And I would like an ice cream, please. It's
Chris,
empty.
Chris,
So
I'm
Daddy went back and got him an ice cream.
Chris, I'm
Yeah.
too busy listening to your mom tell me all the things you did as a child. Um, your son says, "How do you feel about kids having their phones in classes?" I don't. I think phones should be left at home.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
You go to school
Yep.
for an education, not to be on the goddamn phone.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
I know. Well, okay, they should be left at home because there are emergency cases where you actually need your cell phone. Okay,
Right.
and we're talking like you're about to be kidnapped. God damn, that's loud. Um, I just shoved it behind my back.
Speaking of phones.
Actually, that was Roy's tablet. One
Oh.
of our tablets. He had up there. He has one, two, three, four tablets
Oh wow.
and three cell phones. He's playing games on.
Talk about spoiled though.
But uh, children should not have cell phones in the classroom. They should be allowed to carry them in
Yep.
their bag. Why? Because there are emergency situations where you need to be able to contact your kids or your kids need to contact you.
Hmm.
But this whole
Yeah.
I'm messaging my mom. Shit, no. Fuck that. You want to message your mom, do it after school.
But you know that they don't even allow book bags in some schools.
Which is stupid.
Right. But they say that that's how the kids put guns or whatever in the freaking book bags.
Well, I mean, they have a point. 9 chances out of 10, a psychopath will put a gun in a book bag. Now,
Yep.
hear those words very clearly. A psychopath
Psychopath.
will put a
Yep.
gun in a backpack, not the
Yep.
average human being.
Right. Right.
When you take away a line of defense from your children, you are taking away the possibility of them making it out. And what do I mean by that? We have our society is so fucked up that children have to have a bulletproof um, shield in their bag.
Wow.
Cody's last year of school, we bought him a bulletproof backpack.
Right. Blowhole says to put your phone in your pocket and leave it there. That's the issue. If it's in their pocket, they do not leave it there. They take it out, they
Right.
play with it, they contact their mommy because the teacher's being mean because making them do homework or some
Yep.
lame ass bullshit like that. I mean, I've
Yeah.
heard every fucking excuse under the sun.
Yeah.
like I'll go in there and don't get me wrong, I will defend my son when it comes to his IEP. What does his IEP state? That he is allowed to get up and walk around with a teacher near him, that he has to have teacher supervision 24/7 because he is my fucking son and I know my fucking son will walk off
Yeah.
because ADHD. But at the same point in time, I'm not going to be like, well, my son has to have his phone. He does not feel safe without his phone. I'm going to be like, bitch, leave your phone in your bag. You don't need it in class.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
most of the kids nowadays take their bag to class.
Yep.
Right, because they're not allowing access to lockers anymore because of the children that decide they want to go play Harry Carey on the fucking in the schoolyard instead of being
Or
responsible for themselves and the actions that they chose to cause. It's everybody else's fault.
right. I still say they made a mistake when they took the right for the parents to discipline their kids.
But
You
I
know?
Right,
can understand it, Melissa. Some parents went way too far.
right.
Yeah.
Before
There's a
that
Yeah.
different.
bill was passed, there was a guy up north that literally put his kid in the emergency room and they took him from there to ICU.
Oh my
Right.
God,
So
Mom.
again, there is a limitation to what you should be able to do. Should you
Right.
be able to whoop your fucking kid's ass until it is bleeding? Hell
No.
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 Should you be able to spank your child?
Yes.
Yes, 100%. Should you be able to uh yeah, scream at your child? Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Should you put your fucking hands on your child and leave bruises? Hell no.
No.
Should you slap your? I mean, like literally, people need to stop being like, "Oh well, I'm just teaching my child," as they're fucking slapping the shit out of them. That's not teaching your child. That is abusing your child. There's a great difference,
And it's
and
also teaching your child.
yeah,
Right.
it's teaching your child how to be an asshole.
It's teaching your child how to do the same damn thing you're doing.
Yep.
Yep. I could understand if they use the phone for math, just the simple reason that math is better than the 300 calculators.
I
Uh,
used I used to have a book, and in the back of that book from the police department that said you could whip your child 3 times
right.
Yep.
on
No
the
more.
ass.
No more than that. Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
I will tell you, we have this thing, and I'll have Jordan come do it for you guys just so you understand that even Jordan does it himself. Hold on. Baba! But we have a reset button. And what that means is he is out of control and he needs to reset himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I think you
I
were
know.
telling me about that.
Right. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have him do it to himself because he does this a lot. Jordan, come here. I need you to do something. What? Can you reset yourself? Show us your reset button. Literally, it's just that. Hey, dude, reset yourself.
He did
Right.
2 or 3 times.
But that's our cue words for you're being a dickhead. You need to stop it.
Now he's hugging the doggy.
Uh,
The
those
thing
dogs are his best friend.
the thing that I don't like, I hate it, Okay, are the people that don't have children and try to tell you how to parent or what to do, what you're doing wrong or whatever? It's like, do you have kids? Do you even know?
Because it was loud. Tell Dad I can't do it because we need a fourth person with a different base and a different PayPal account. Sorry, it's a
Oh,
whole thing. But
okay.
right, like literally, if you ain't got a child and you've never really had to deal with a child 24/7 to the point where you're just pulling out your hair because I don't know, they didn't want to eat fucking chicken nuggies and are throwing a hissy fit.
Yeah.
I'd swat them on the butt and put them to bed.
Well, okay, so again, texture issues. My daughter's a huge texture issue. If you put a piece of clothing on her that she did not like, she would strip herself naked
Oh,
because
wow.
she did not like it. My son, a tag, a simple tag was irritating his neck. He sat out in the fucking middle of the street, worst place to do it, throwing a fucking hissy fit. I thought maybe there was a bee or something near him. So I'm out there searching. What's going on? What's going on? Let's get you out of the road. I got him out of the road. He's still going fucking ham because it's irritating him. But he's at this point in time, he was non-verbal.
Yeah.
He was like 2.5, non-verbal.
Oh, wow.
And he could not express that the tag was bothering him. He just kept going like this and pulling at his shirt. He had red marks all across his throat. Luckily, my dad witnessed it because I sent him to school the next day, and somebody thought I tried choking my child. And I'm like, no, I have a witness. He was having a meltdown because there was a tag on the shirt. So anyways, I brought him in the house, and my dad's like, what the fuck is going on with this child? I'm like, I don't know, Dad. I don't know. So he's like, all right, let's do it this way. We started stripping his clothes looking for a beat. The second we pulled his shirt off, quiet.
Oh, wow.
And my dad's like, okay. We put the shirt back on, and he starts doing it again. And my dad cuts the tag out because we had to do it with Philip. Philip was the same way. You put the tag on him. Oh my God. My dad went and spent $200 on tagless clothes for this child
Oh, wow.
because the tags is him and tags.
Right.
Another thing was my stepsister decided that kids must wear shirts at her house. All kids must wear shirts at her house. I said, I will never be at your house. I, she invited us over for a big thing, and I said, fine, I'll put a shirt on Jordan. An hour and a half of just being in her house. My son is beet red, dripping sweat, going into heat exhaustion. That's why he's always running around in muscle shirts or no shirts because it's too much clothing for him. Hold on. I want to read. My favorite is when people that have kids that are out of control and try to tell you how to raise your kids or kid or kids. Right.
Yeah, that's another good one too.
Discipline. Blowhole, discipline. He said, how do you think I raised my kid? I said, discipline. There is a difference
Yeah.
between abuse and discipline. Yes, that is very true.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
no, like honestly, we had to go with tagless clothes, and I had to tell him he had to keep his clothes on at school. He could not strip. But for the first 4 years of his life, he was like, um, not accepting of shirts or short pants. He had to wear shorts because he was one of those children that just overheated constantly.
It's
Yeah.
like having hot flashes,
Right,
and those are the pits.
Yes,
that
they
they
are.
are.
Yes, they are. Um, I can remember like Chris was telling you about that lady that was screaming him that followed him from Palmyra all the way down to Dollar General about yelling at Austin. And Chris really wasn't even yelling at him, but he kept wanting to get something, and Chris kept telling him, "No, don't talk to that baby like that." And he's like, or she's like, "Well, you don't need to talk to the baby like that, and I'm gonna call the cops." And and Chris like, "Here's my phone. You wanna use it?
I
Do ahead. Go ahead. I don't
I
care."
would have been like, "Here's my phone. Go ahead and call the cops. Just remind them to bring an ambulance for yourself." Because it is to the point where society thinks that they can tell us whatever the fuck they want. There's no consequences for their actions, and we are just supposed to bow down and do whatever the fuck they want. But in the reality, that shit don't work.
Nope.
Okay, we were at Walmart with all of us, me, Chris, and the kids, right? And the kids were young, and Chris had just got out of work, and it was on a Saturday morning, and so he took us all shopping. Well, the kids would be little pains in the asses, like they always are, because they're little kids and they want everything. And Chris was getting an attitude. He was getting loud. He talks loud anyway. He talks loud. And there's a lady that walks over to me and she's like, you and your family don't need to put up with that. And I said, you know what? I don't need to put up with that. You sticking your big ass nose into my business. I said, you just got out of work. Go the fuck on with yourself. I was mad. I was like, people like that. Oh my god, I hate nosy people.
Well, here's the thing, there's a difference between being nosy, which is what you're describing, and people
Hmm.
who are actually concerned because of true abuse
Right.
cases.
Right.
And that's where the line should be drawn. If it is a true abuse case, draw that line
Right. Right.
100%. But if
Right.
it's just somebody fucking griping at their kid because their kid's throwing a hissy fit, but I want the Pokemon, mommy. No. But again, kids are little humans.
Hmm.
Little kids do not know how to properly express that they are having big feelings. It is
Right.
our job as an adult to teach them how to properly express their big feelings. And what does that
Right.
mean? When your kid is having a complete freaking meltdown because a shirt tag is irritating the hell out of them, how do we go about this? How do you talk to mommy? How do you tell mommy? We don't sit out there and yell and scream for like somebody's killing you. You need to come address mommy.
But they don't know. Yeah, I
They
I know
don't
what you mean.
know. And that's the issue is there are a lot of adults out there that do not understand that kids are mini humans. Well, of course they're
Right.
humans, but they're mini adults. And how you raise your child is how they're going to be when they grow up. So you raise your child to be a spoiled, rotten brat. The world revolves around them. Everybody must give them what they want. they're going to act like that when they grow up.
So that's what I did wrong.
You didn't do nothing, Mom. You have some amazing
Mhm.
children.
Oh, I know that, but other people would tell me they're all spoiled, rotten brats.
I mean, Chris is
Well, but
spoiled rotten.
kind of in a way
Not
they are
really.
spoiled. But mom, you can't tell me they didn't earn that stuff. They didn't work for being spoiled. They didn't work. They were raised with common sense. They were raised with the the ability to know right from wrong and the ability to know that they had to work for something if they wanted it.
And
Yes,
that
So
I
is
know
where
that.
that's where society is ending because we don't make our children work for
right,
anything. Oh, you want
right,
that? Here you go, baby.
yeah.
I'm the
They
asshole parent that you want that? Go get a fucking job.
Hey, I am too. Excuse me, I'm a grandmother like that too.
oh yeah.
It would be different if I was a billionaire.
It wouldn't be
They
different
would
for
come
me.
and work for me and get
Hell,
paid for doing a job.
Right.
when the kids were staying at mom's, they made bank when it come to shoveling snow all the time. They were like they had money. It's like, yeah, I'm doing good. And then we moved down here, and everybody was asking mom, where are your grandkids?
So in other
Cody
words,
and Austin would go together shoveling driveways and sidewalks and mowing yards and stuff. They would
Yeah,
make $200 a day, each one of them.
so in
And
yeah,
I
other words,
had people come to the house next time it snowed and stuff. Where's the boys? I need him to plow my or shovel my driveway and my porch and my sidewalk and stuff.
they're
I
not
said,
here.
they're in Virginia. Oh, okay. Well, if they ever come back, you let me know if they move in here with you.
right. So once again, they were brought up with structure, discipline, and the understanding that you have to make what you want. You can't just
Yeah,
get it handed to you.
You gotta earn
yeah,
it.
yeah,
If you can't earn it, you might as well hang it up, baby.
And that's why, like, I'll support a small local business any day of the week.
right.
A matter of fact,
Yep.
starting tomorrow, I'm doing Small Business Mondays. Um, but they're out there grinding for it. It's not just handed to them. They're not just thrown up in stores like, "Ooh, go look at this." No, they have to go out there and they have to grind for every fucking thing they want
Yeah,
and need.
Yep, that's the only way to
right.
have it.
Yeah. I can remember Chris telling me how many, like him having a job and everything when he bought everything, that he wanted, like the stereo or whatever he wanted. But he did con mom into buying the stereo for him, but or a radio. But that was only because he fell, and that was the only way we got to the hospital.
Yeah, well, Chris
We
needs.
helped him. We helped all the kids out. I'm not gonna say we didn't.
No, no, no. I mean, when Chris fell, mom, and you told him like we were going to the hospital, he goes, I'm not going unless I get a radio.
I remember that very well.
Oh, guys.
But we did. We helped the kids get their vehicles and
Yeah.
pay their insurance and everything.
But like when Denny was younger, how many jobs did he have when he had the boys? Like three jobs or
He was
something?
working 3 a day.
Yeah.
Kroger's, the factory, and McDonald's.
So none of them were not. They all had jobs. They were all,
Yes, they
in
did.
school and jobs and everything.
When
So,
they were Cody and Austin's ages, they had good jobs.
yep,
The one job Denny worked, he wore a leather jacket 12 months out of the year because it was a foundry.
ah,
And it
yeah,
was almost 200 degrees in that foundry at all times.
yep.
But,
So mom's generation believed in the work for what you want,
yep.
and we kind of tried to instill that in the boys. But nowadays they don't. They don't. If you want it, mommy will buy it for you. You know what?
Yep.
Mommy ain't got the money, so you're gonna have to get a job and get it yourself.
Yep. Exactly.
Because
I'm too broke for that. Mommy will get it for you.
right. I'm like watching the videos, like how these privileged girls get these vehicles, and the one girl threw a fit because it was a red truck and not a black one, and it was a really expensive vehicle, but yeah, she didn't want it because it wasn't the color that matched her dress. I'm like, oh my god, little girl, you
Well,
need to
about
be
that
just
time,
smacked. I'd
if
take it
about
back.
that time that truck would have been taken back to the dealership, and I'd have told him, give me my damn money back. She ain't getting it.
Welcome
Yeah.
back, Blowhole.
And then there was another video of this girl. She's like 16 and she wanted a strawberry cake for her birthday. They were all sold out of strawberry cake, and she goes, I hate you, Dad. And I'm like, what the fuck? Over strawberry? What? It's like, this is ridiculous. And this
Well,
girl
hell,
that
for years I didn't even get a birthday cake or anything.
right, and this little girl, her dad couldn't buy her hardly anything, and all she got for her birthday was one piece of strawberry cake. And she walked up to that girl and she goes, "This will mean more to you than me. Here's your strawberry cake." And she walked away. Like, oh, I would have threw in her face if it was me.
Well, here's the thing. Children are not raised the same way because parents are afraid to parent.
Seems like we discussed that when Lunatic Dad was in there when we were talking about the old days.
Yeah,
Right.
probably.
We did.
Hey, don't hurt to go over it again.
I like the days back in the old days when the whole neighborhood brings up your kid, watches out for that kid,
Yep,
and will jump in if something's going on with that kid.
yep,
Nowadays, they don't want to do that because you got so many Karens out there, and yes, that is the terminology I am using, that will throw a hissy fit. Don't you punish my kid. Well, teach your kid right from wrong then.
That's
right.
right.
Yep,
My perfect angel never does nothing wrong. Your perfect angel just poked somebody's fucking eye out and caused them thousands of dollars in damages. Your perfect kid is now being sued. Your perfect kid now has a criminal record. I guess they ain't so perfect now, are they?
I remember when we were going to football games, there was this one kid that says, there, now, how do you think that you like me now? Because he supposedly was the best kid on the football team. That's the only reason they ever won games. And I looked at him and I said, you know something, young man? It's not just you, it takes the whole team to win that game.
right.
So
Right.
get over yourself.
His head was a hell of a lot bigger than his fucking. He had any idea of.
Well, when he got in college, he put his girlfriend in ICU.
Because again, his ego was stroked at home. Oh, you're so special. You're so amazing. You're such an amazing football player. I can't believe I raised the best quarterback. Da, 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 da.
And his mother told me, "Don't you ever talk to my son like that." And I said, "Well, you tell him not to talk to me the way he talked to me." And I said, "I won't talk to your son. Just tell him not to ever talk to me again because all I do is tell him the truth. It's not just your son out there making the plays because you've got the rest of the football team helping him make those plays."
Right, you seriously can't be like, it's just me. When in reality, you got a lineman, a quarterback, I don't know, all the stupid football players
And
out
I
there.
just I just told them the way I felt, and she come up at the end of the last game at the end of the season and she apologized to me. She said, "You know, you're right." She said we should have never told him he was the best of this or that or the other thing. I said it's okay to tell a kid that. But I said when you bring balloons with his name on it and stuff and you make the rest of the kids on the team feel like shit. I said, no, that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
I said, it's either the whole team or just him. Well, our son is amazing. I said, I'm sure he is. My son's amazing, and all the other sons out here are amazing, just like the cheerleaders are amazing.
They out there working their ass off to make sure that the fucking team gets what they need.
That's
Mhm.
right.
So, Um, like we were on an airplane one time, and there was a kid kicking the seat, and I'm like, I turned around and asked the mother, I'm like, can you stop him from kicking the seat? She goes, well, he's not doing anything wrong. I'm like, well, yeah, he kind of is. He's kicking my seat. And she goes, well, that's not my problem. And I'm like, he's your kid. And I had to get the stewardess to ask the mother to control her child, you know? And I'm just like, man, people are just, because the kid was just like maybe 6 or 7 years old, not very old, you know, but
Once again, parents not wanting to parent their fucking children.
right. Well, I was like 21 at the time, so you know,
Let me tell
and
you, if you see a mama out there fucking butt ready to pull her hair out, sitting down, actually having a conversation with the child, trying to get the child to understand what's right from wrong, just tell them they're doing an amazing job. They probably need to hear it that day because their kids are driving them to drink.
right, yeah. But see, I mean, I wouldn't mind like when them kids came over to my house. I wouldn't mind if the mother would have talked to me ahead of time and said, my child doesn't sleep at night, and when I get the boys up for school, I usually go back to bed. Would you mind watching my kids? I wouldn't mind. Then I could have planned a little bit earlier and got the kids up a little bit earlier, and got them started getting them ready.
Right.
But it was just like, hello, I'm down here now. You gotta watch me too. Well, I didn't really like those kids anyhow, but because that was the kid that bashed Cody over the head with a piece of wood or a two
It,
by four.
Wow.
Yeah, so I didn't like the kids anyway. But the bus stop was right out in front of our house, so I couldn't really, tell him not to come down on the property or anything. 'Cause that's
Like
where the
hell you
cut
couldn't have. I would have.
is.
At the point in time where they're endangering my child, yeah, no, your ass is gonna
Well,
fucking.
my kids never went over there from that point on. I was like, no, they need to learn that you don't do that. This is not WWE.
Right. I mean, there's a difference between playing and being a bully.
Yeah.
Being violent, I should say.
Yeah,
Mm,
my grandkids had a bully for a bus driver.
Ugh.
yeah.
He would tell the kids before the boys got on, you can do anything you want to these two kids, and I won't stop you.
I
And
would
this
have
is
fucking.
the high schoolers. And I told him one day, I said, Mister, I said, don't even talk to me. I was just informed you are the bus driver for these kids. Well, I am. And I said, you're also a bully. You allow the bigger kids to bully these two kids. I don't appreciate it. And I said, I'm not putting up with it. I said, I don't know if their parents will back me or not, but I said, I won't put up with it. I don't care if you're a guy from the church. I don't care. But the next time one of my grandkids tell me kids on the bus bullied them and hit them and hurt them, I'm coming to the school and I
Yep.
will have you called down. I said, that's all there is to it. You're not going to have those kids hurting them. And if I have to, I will throw you off the bus and I will drive the damn bus. And I said, then let them try to hurt them. I said, then they're
Um,
going to be off the bus.
right. Abraxas, stop being a fucking smartass. I'm not talking about the fucking hell racers. I'm talking about perfect example. Alex. He, his brother has autism, but he's a fucking great kid. Yes,
Yeah.
there was a point in time I had to talk to him about, being a dickhead on a video game. But again, he's a great kid. He listened. You- I'm talking um blowholes fucking kid. An amazing kid. Has a job, has work ethics, knows right from wrong. A great kid. I'm talking those fucking kids. Not the fucking hellraisers that are Satan's spawn.
Well, I got a nephew and it's Chris's cousin that's got autism. And if there's anything you want to know about race car driving, this kid can tell you because Brian and his dad, we had went to a funeral down in Tennessee and he went ahead and rode home with Brian and Denny as far as Indianapolis, I think it was. And then I got back in the car with him, and we come to Michigan. And that kid was smart as a whip, Brian said, and so did my husband. That kid could tell you anything you want to know about a motor, a transmission, or even race car drivers. He goes over here to the racetrack, Michigan Speedway, every year with his uncle and cousins for the races. He, that kid's smart as a whip, but he's just got autism. he goes to work, pays all his bills, and puts the rest of his money in the bank. And on 4th of July, he draws 200 or $2,000 out for fireworks to
That's
have
because
out at his grandma's place.
that's because again he had good parenting, a good upbringing.
Well, one of the parents was good.
One's better than none.
The other one I threatened to beat shit out of.
That's like well, Roy's nephew. I think we all threatened to beat the shit out of his parents. I don't know where my
Well,
footage is back up.
this was the guy that married my niece. He was hurt by his own dad and stuff. He was molested
Yeah.
and was taught how to do his sister, and which is neither here nor there, but they were taught bad things by their father.
Right, but they broke the cycle. They did continue it.
I don't know about that. But, anyways, it doesn't matter.
But no, I mean, there's kids out there that do stupid shit. My kid is one of them. He is a horny ass fucking teenager. Does he get in
Well,
trouble?
I think
Hell yes.
all teenagers are like that.
I fully agree. All
Now,
teenagers are, and the way that fucking that's a way technology has ruined the fucking youth because sending no pics was not really a thing back in the old days. I mean,
no, it wasn't.
what were you gonna do? Take a Polaroid of yourself and send it?
Exactly.
Nowadays, they have such a vast mass variety of um, things that they can do to. I'm trying to think of the proper way to say this without being. Yeah. Um.
As I tell my sister in law, spit it out.
Well, okay. So there. Okay. So what? Especially being a female, you end up getting unsolicited eggplants, penises, sent to you.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, my son has followed that pattern, and the last time he was supposedly dating this woman or this girl. And the last time, what was the threat I told you the last time if you send another no pic?
At least I don't have to worry about kids.
I told him I was gonna take it out with like those tongs that you use for like flipping salad and stuff. I
Yes,
was gonna
yes, yes,
take it
yes.
out.
I got 2 pair of them.
I was gonna take it out with one of those and chop it off. He was gonna be eggplantless.
No,
But
just take off the
also,
balls.
he is grounded from talking to women until what?
I'm 16.
Until you're 18.
17.
Or you learn how to properly talk to a woman. I catch him online talking to a woman. What happens to your cell phone?
It gets taken away or broken by dad.
Why? Because cell phones are not made to send no pics. Cell phones are made to contact your loved ones.
Yes.
Maybe that loved one wanted a no pick.
Actually, this last time she did. She's like, oh, I sent you pics. What he didn't know was if you did a reverse Google search, it would show that it wasn't her pics.
You're beautiful.
But She's like,
Honey, girl,
you gotta show me yours.
you
Yeah.
showed me yours. I'll show you mine.
Yep, exactly. And then somebody's like, you don't know me, but send me $500 or I'm sending the cops over to your house. First of all, homie, you are over the age of 18. Second of all, I know damn well you asked my son for pictures. I screenshotted them all and sent them to me.
Okay, guys. Missy said she's not going to be tried to come back up because she hates her stupid phone.
Okay.
Okay.
What, you didn't like my example of being polite to somebody on a plane?
No.
Why?
Because I would have turned around and smacked that fucking kid.
Bad part about it.
My kid or
You
not.
said be polite to them, so I was. I was congratulating them on their Hellraiser kid that they raised. Good job.
I would have said, good job. You're raising an entitled kid. Keep it up.
Hush up, you entitled Karen Jordan.
But yeah, like I disciplined my child. Did I seriously threaten to cut his dingling off? Yes, I did.
And my balls. But
And your balls.
Well,
I was going to make him a female, okay?
I kind of asked for my balls to be cut off if you were going to do that because then I don't have to worry about children.
Oh, God.
I already done told you. We could go get you a vasectomy at the age of 18.
At the age of 16.
How about the age of 16?
No, I think you have to be 18 to get it.
Not with parents' consent.
True.
Right, you want it done?
No, I was going to do it to Austin.
Why?
Do you really need another Austin running around?
I would love to have one.
Why?
Because I love Austin. You
Austin-
got a problem with that?
Austin's a pain in my ass.
So?
You better behave or I'm going to fart in here after I have an ice cream and close the door on you.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't lock it.
I can't lock it.
Praise the Lord.
Because it doesn't latch.
Children. Yes, Blowhole, your son did turn out good. I'm trying to raise my son the best I can with the disabilities he has. And
Well, honey,
the
that's all you
issues
can
that
do.
happened to him. Well, okay.
He seems like a good kid if this is the one you're talking about. Mr. Jordan.
Yep.
He's a good kid from what I've seen.
He is a pretty good kid. It's just when it comes to the fact that he is a fucking teenage boy who is horny all the time.
I'm not horny all the time.
All boys are like that, don't you know?
Exactly.
Done.
That's okay, Jordan.
You're
We
done
love you.
now. Go that way. Take it with you. I don't care. Go. But again, I'm trying to raise him the best I can. Has he done stupid shit? Yes. Has he done stupid shit that he needs to apologize for? Yes. Has he done stupid shit I've apologized for? Yes. What is he? A 16-year-old child. What was
That's
he
right.
when he did that? A 14 and 15-year-old child. He is learning and growing. The day I get a vasectomy is the day I quit smoking weed. Never gonna happen. Well, see, here's the thing.
I'd rather get a vasectomy than get 1,000 children on my back.
But then if he wants a child, he can adopt.
Well, a vasectomy is reversible. 100%. A vasectomy is reversible.
Oh.
If he grows up and changes his mind, he will. But that's on him.
Exactly. It's his choice.
It's his choice, his body.
Yep.
Actually, Alex is a good kid. Leave him alone. He even watches his brother who has autism. What you get? that just shows that children with autism do not always act like the what they show you children with autism has. Okay, I'm on the spectrum. I'm not fully on the spectrum, but I'm on the spectrum. My son's on the spectrum. My daughter's on the spectrum. We're all on the spectrum. But at the same point in time, they are pretty damn good children. Do
Yeah.
they make mistakes? Yes. Every child makes a mistake.
Oh,
Do,
yeah.
do I get mad at them? Yes. Do they disappoint me? Yes. Is that their job to be a child and disappoint their mother after repeating themselves 9 fucking billion times? Yes.
Yes.
But what do? You talk to them. You teach them the
You
laws. You teach
love
them right
them.
from wrong. You show them that even though you're mad at them, you still love them and understand that it was a mistake.
Yes. And a lot of parents don't see it that way.
Blowhole, I just had a full hysterectomy. I was 28 when I had a whole full hysterectomy.
I was in my 30s.
Right. So we don't have to worry about no more kids. But at the same point in time, we also have to teach the children that we have right from wrong. And parents need to get that through their head. And I'm not talking every parent. There's great parents out there. There's parents that truly try as hard as they can. They're overwhelmed because they have 5, 6, 7, 8 children because
Yeah.
of abuse. And I will put that out there.
Me.
I know a lot of people out there who have multiple children that got pregnant out of abusive situations.
Yep. My old man treated me like a queen.
Right.
And I treated him like a king. He was spoiled rotten.
Jordan was conceived in an abusive relationship, but he was not conceived because of abuse. He was conceived in an abusive relationship. A matter of fact, um, one of my children, not telling you which one, still has, well, both of them have PTSD from it. But one of them has PTSD because they would hold them down and lick their eyeball.
Whoa.
As a form of punishment, they would get on top of them, hold them down, and hold their eye open, like they would hold their hands in between their legs and open their eyeball like this and lick it.
I've never heard of such a thing, honey.
It was horrible.
Oh, I bet it was.
Jordan, I'll tell you this one because with Jordan's name in it, because that kind of makes sense with who he is now. Jordan, at the age of 1.5 to 2.5, before I got out. Now, remind you, I literally got out as soon as I could, and I worked every day, 7 days a week, and from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to keep a roof over my kids' head. All he had to do was watch the kids. What drew me to the last point where I contacted my dad. I was like, Dad, I don't know how to get out of this relationship. Everything's in his name. He wouldn't let me have nothing in my name. I come home and he was changing Jordan. And he goes, Look, honey, I can make my son hard.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Jordan was also depositing, externally releasing blood in his stools, which is a big sign of um, other abuse. So, a child that is abused that way before the your memories really start to come in, causes severe mental trauma to the point they go one of two ways. Either they're overly sexual or they're just asexual, don't even touch me. Unfortunately, Jordan has gone this way. Does he go to therapy for it? Yes. Do I discuss it with him? Yes. But at the same point in time, the abuse that happened in that relationship is what caused him to be the way he is now. So, raising a child that has been abused is harder than raising a child that has never been abused.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking beating your child, not at all, because
I know what you're saying.
that's a different form of abuse that causes different forms of PTSD.
Right.
And matter of fact, the child that I was talking about with the eyeball licking has PTSD. And if you go anywhere near their eyeballs or like you're about to hold them down in that form, will start having a massive panic attack to the point she's hyperventilating and you have to get her to the hospital.
Yeah.
You have to get them to the hospital. So at that point in time, again, the abuse we put on our children affects them for the long haul.
Yep. Boy, that's bad, honey.
Oh, that's just that's just one of my relationships where the abuse was horrible. But
Damn.
I am spoiled right now. So, and so are they. Literally, so are they.
Good.
But again, my kids coming from that trauma to be the way they are is a one in a million outcome.
Yeah.
And that's why communicate. And I tell everybody this: if a communication is important in your relationship with your significant other, communication is important in your relationship with your friends, your family, and your children.
Yep.
Always, always make sure you communicate with your child. Are they going to listen to you getting their ass whooped? No. They're going to remember that pain, but they're not going to remember why they were in pain. Are they going to listen to timeouts? No. They're going to forget why the hell they're standing there in a timeout.
Yep.
Are they going to listen to, I understand you're having big feelings, but you need to be appropriate for the situation we're in? Yeah, they're going to, because there's what you're doing at that point in time is you're validating that yes, you understand they're having big feelings and you will discuss it when you leave the place that you're at now. And that's where a lot of people go wrong is they do not discuss anything with their children. They just expect their children to know right from wrong the first time. Miss Mama Abraxas, how many times did it take you to learn something? Say you're learning a new project, a new craft, a new skill. How many times would it take you to get it right? One, two,
You have
three.
to work and work and work and work at it
Exactly.
to
And
get it
even
right.
and even professionals can make a mistake, right?
Exactly.
So why are we expecting our children to come out of the womb, be a professional, and never make a mistake?
Yeah, it can't be done.
It cannot be done. We have to communicate
Nope.
with them. We have to teach them right from wrong. And when they do make something wrong, you have to communicate with your child. Now, is everybody's form of communication the same exact way? No.
No.
A big form of communication is how you talk with everybody else. You see how I talk with you, Mama. You see how I talk with Abraxas. You see how I talk with everybody. I never change it up. I am a goofball. I like laughing, but I have a great communication skill. Am I perverted? Fuck yes, I am. Again, childhood trauma for the win. Sorry. Again, I have to. But so when I talk to my son, I don't talk to my son like that. I talk to my son like, hey, you need to knock it off. You're being a dickhead. Plain and simple. Give me a.
What? That's over next door, honey. It's not here.
Keep talking, Mom.
It's not here at all. Chris is yelling at Mama. You gonna yell at Mama too?
If there's anything left.
And I love Chris.
I
Yes.
said keep talking.
I am.
So interesting.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. More than life itself, my darling.
Apparently, we must have coffee.
To the chat, not to the
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I love hearing your mama talk to the dog. Okay, you need to stop yelling at your goddamn mom before right.
You weren't there when I was talking to baby girl.
Oh, I could hear it. I just had myself muted because they came in. They must have coffee. Everybody must have coffee, and
Oh, yes.
we're cashing out all of Roy's games, and I don't even think he'll have enough for coffee. See, here's the thing on having autism and being on the spectrum. Just because you have it does not mean that you can use it as an excuse for the way you behave.
Exactly.
My son has schizophrenia. You will never hear him say, well, I have schizophrenia. That's how I act. My son is on the spectrum. You never hear him say, well, I'm on the spectrum. That's how I act. He has ADHD, ODD, aggressive behavior disorder, and bipolar. Okay. My son has all of those. And never once will you hear him say, I have XYZ. That's how I act. Because I will say, you might have them, but you do not need to behave like this.
Exactly.
And I hear that so many times. Well, I have autism. I'm on the spectrum. I'm neurodivergent. I'm this. I'm that. Great. You're this, you're that, you might have all of these issues, but at the same point in time, just because you have those issues does not mean you get to affect other people. You
Yep.
want to throw a hissy fit? Go to your room. That's what your bed and pillow is for. Punch your pillow, scream into it. I don't care. Go do it in your room. I don't want to see it. I'm one of those people that literally, if something comes to my head and you can ask Chris, if you do not answer me within 20 minutes, I will get a hold of you some other way. I will address you in some other way. Why? Because it's in my head. I need the answer to this. But if you're like, hey, we're on vacation, you need to back up, I'll be like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. And I'll actually mean I'm sorry. And then I'll back off and I'll go do something else. And when they come back and they be like, yes or no, I'll be like, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so sorry I interrupted you. Here's and then I'll explain it to him. And that's how I am. My mom, like, I contact my mom 27 times in a row if I really need her. I'm like, Mom, I'm going nuts. Please just fucking answer your phone. She'll be like, I was asleep, child. What? I'm like, Mom, I'm going nuts. This is stressing me out. I need somebody to just, Mom, I need you. You need to do that mommy thing. And she'll be like, breathe. And I'm like, but it's hard. My head, it's spinning. There's too much. And she'll be like, okay, what's on your mind? And I'll spit it all out at her. And she goes, okay, let's break this down into one subject at a time. What are you feeling about this? And I'll explain it to her. And she'll be like, okay, how can we fix this for you? And again, I'll tell her the answer that I was looking for, but it's coming out of my words. And then she'll be like, right. So let's get the next one. How are you feeling about this? Why is it affecting you? Are you okay? And I'll tell her. And a lot of times I had to go to my mom because Roy was working literally, he was working 12 to 14 hours a day, if not longer. So I really didn't have anybody I could just talk to. But again, it's the way I am. But if somebody says, not right, if somebody were to tell me, hey, we're on vacation, don't bother us this time to this time, I will sit there and I will write everything down on a piece of paper that I want to address when they get off of vacation. And I will not address it until then. Why? Because that's how it is. That's how my brain functions. Once again, I'm on the spectrum. I have to have things a certain way. My clothes. Because I got bit by 2 spiders. Now I'm afraid to put my clothes in a closet. Was I in the closet when I got bit by a spider? No. I was on my bed. Am I afraid to sleep on my bed? No. Because I got 2 poopy dunks. But I'm afraid to put my clothes in the closet because there might be a spider in it. It makes 0 sense. Hold on, Mom.
Okay. I will.
It's already on the card. There's $5.
Oh, hush.
Tell him to shut up.
Shut up.
Beat you, Chris. But no, that's how I've been since a child. That's how we'll be until the end of time. He's the same way. Anytime that he needs something, it's I need it right now.
Copy of cigarettes.
Yeah, copy your cigarettes.
Hello, sir.
That is Roy. He is my partner in crime.
Hello, Roy, sir.
She says hello, Roy, sir.
Hello.
Everybody's going to say hello, Roy. I guarantee
Hello,
the
everybody.
chat's going to go nuts. Yes, I'm on a live stream. It's Sunday morning.
Yeah, no. No, you're chopping.
But if he does not play with these dogs, they go crazy. But
Chris said hello.
Chris said hello.
Hello.
But I think we should end it here, and we continue this for next weekend too. We can talk about neurodivergent
Okay.
and how it affects people, because there are a lot of people who are neurodivergent, like myself, like my children, like your child. I swear he's on the spectrum. He loves
Which one?
Christopher. But you love me.
Oh, shoot.
Some days I swear your child is neurodivergent. But there is nothing wrong with being neurodivergent. It just means you think differently.
Yep.
Just like when normal people go to sleep, they lay down, they go to sleep, and all, their brain stops. They go into REM mode, or they don't dream, and it just stops. When I go to sleep, it stops. It's literally, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Did you do this? Did you do that? You gotta check this. Did you feed the dogs? Did you let them out? Are they gonna have accidents? How long am I able to sleep before Chomp Chomp has an accident? I mean, literally, that is my brain going to bed.
Yep.
But we love you all. We hope you have an amazing time. You had an amazing time listening to me run my mouth because I'm a jabberjaw. Poor mom.
Yeah, poor mom.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope that you all have an amazing day. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye, honey.
I take it that's her ending.
Yes.
Now let's see how bad we did.